Yum. Welcome to Free Range Sailing. For the last 4 years we have been sailing around our island continent and sharing our experiences with you.
Just look at that. Sensational.
After 9 months of hard work, we have just completed an extensive refit of our 50-year-old 30-foot fiberglass sailboat in Tasmania. Now we have a short weather window to close the loop and sail the 2,000 nautical miles home to Western Australia before the westerly winds of autumn return. To join us each week in a race against time to reunite with our families, thanks for subscribing to our channel and hitting the bell button. Last week you saw us complete our crossing of the Great Australian Bight to arrive at remote Daw Island on the West Australian coast. What does it smell like to you?
Smells like we got some new neighbours.
Yeah.
547, 92 hours and 15 minutes. Well, time to write up the log and then we'll go and have a look at some of these seals. Actually, I need a coffee.
Sleep first.
Yeah, I need some rest.
Yeah, we'll
I'm just excited because we've got new neighbours. Our favourite type of neighbours.
One's with fishy breath.
This looks like a place where there'd be abalone. Have you seen that weedy bottom?
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking as well. Shark weather. Seal quality. So a bit of an interesting snorkel there. Those seals came and mobbed us, and it was pretty hard to stay focused. So I got what I think is a rock blackfish. I don't really know my fish out of the tropics, so we're still learning those. And a luderick or a zebrafish. But right now, Pasky's going to make us up some lunch, and that was the herring that I caught last night.
Oh, double hookups! Oh, came off. It's a fresh tin of ghee. These are herring, and I've covered most of them in panko crumbs, breadcrumbs, but I've kept 2 just to have plain. So we'll cook them first and eat them up, and then we'll eat the crispy panko ones. And we're frying them in our old favourite ghee, which is clarified butter. But I managed to get a giant tin in Tasmania before we left, and I've just opened it now that we've arrived in WA.
They're really good.
Yum.
They're only lightly flavoured. I expect them to be more oily than that. They're really good.
They've got a nice like texture, I reckon. They've got a bit of chew. You know how some like cod and stuff and coral trout melts more, like disintegrates more. They've got more chew. Like Queenie, but a bit more moist than Queenie. Queenie's dry.
They're good. I can't wait to these panko ones. Shallow fry.
Crispy herring.
What do you reckon the taste of growing up?
Taste of my childhood.
You had a good childhood. They're worth catching.
And they're fun and easy to catch, really. They come to you.
Yeah, so having that stern light works well. They got us mackerel over in Tassie. And it's getting us herring here. And voila.
Lunchtime on the good ship Marul.
Then we can go see some more seals.
The island is home to Australian sea lions and a significant number of New Zealand fur seals.
The fur seals can be more easily distinguished from the lighter Australian sea lions by their pointy nose, darker coloration, and all the scaffolding built around the rocks.
What? You can't say that.
You've got to leave it in there.
The sea lions were quite inquisitive, but this female didn't quite know what to make of her first folding dinghy. From the deck of Marul, we thought this was a large bed of kelp drifting in the waves, but we were amazed to see it was adult fur seals lounging off an extensive creche of pups.
That rock's incredible, that one with the lichen and it looks like marble.
We didn't want to get too close to the seals, so we were glad we bought our 300mm zoom lens to get a better look. With so many female seals around, competition among the males was constant. Things did seem a lot more peaceful among the pups. We felt great that after the thousands of miles of travelling, Marul still got a seal of approval. So we've mostly been pretty successful with everything on that, this last 1,000 or so miles that we've just done. But there was some chafing on our number 1 and number 2 reefing line. Serves me right really, because I used existing rope that we had. I had some spare unused rope, some 8mm. So I put that on as our second reefing line. I've got this 8mm Spectra that I'm putting as our first reef, but our first reefing line also has to be our third reefing line. We've only got 3 sheaves there, so one of them's the outhaul and the other 2 are the first and second reefs. So what happens is when we're coming into like rough weather, or the weather prediction says that things are going to deteriorate, we can always just take this number 1 reefing line off its attachment point, run it through the third reef and have it ready to go again. It's no big deal to go from a second reef down to a first reef. But it is a big deal to go from a second to a third, so you sort of have it ready in advance. And that's why I'm using this. This is 8mm Spectra for that. The first reef's not going to have a lot of pressure. And really the third reef shouldn't have that much either, because you're reducing sail area, but you never know. There we go, we'll replace it with that. This stuff's proven really great. It's what we, this is the leftover from doing our lifelines. Pasky's just wondering why I'm doing this. So whenever we finish off a rope, I always do a sewn whipping, wrap it around and sew it a couple of times. Some people will just, they'll melt the end and they might finish it off with some electrical tape or heat shrink or something like that. But only a sewn, a sailmaker's whipping will join the outer sheath and the inner core together, and that's important. If you just put some heat shrink on the outside and call it a day, the inside core is free to pull out and move. Once you put a sewn whipping on there, she's permanent. So we'll just chuck a stopper knot in that end. Actually, I won't do one of those knots, because I'll never get it undone if I ever jam it. Do a figure 9.
Is that what it's called, figure 9?
It's just a figure 8 with another twist.
Yeah.
So a figure 8 will do it. Some people, like when they do a figure 8, they'll wrap it round and put it through. The same thing can just be done just by twisting and
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I've never seen that before.
In such a wild location, we wanted to get some drone footage of our anchorage, but it quickly drew the attention of a resident wedge-tail eagle that had been fighting with various other birds all morning and was none too pleased by this new intruder.
Can you hear them?
Yeah. Good.
So my job is just to watch the drone, but also to watch the eagle, most importantly, because it is a feisty eagle.
When the eagle arrived on the scene, we didn't have time to land the drone, so we flew it fast vertically up with the idea that eagles need thermals to ride upwards. This was only successful for a little while.
Oh! Oh my gosh! Ah! Alright, it's coming back for the drone.
Time to bring the drone back. Our last means of trying to keep our drone safe was to fly it as close to the mast as we dared, and this was the only thing that dissuaded the eagle from attacking it.
It's angry.
The eagle's deaf on wheels, isn't he?
How do you feel about flying the drone with that eagle?
I just don't want the eagle to get hurt. That's pretty exciting.
He got clipped.
It seemed he came up and under to try and grab it.
Yeah.
It's pretty clever. But like going up and back and zingers, he sort of got used to it. He was just like, oh, that thing does this, and he sort of had a way of getting around it.
Does not like the drone.
I don't reckon one of these would survive the Kimberley very well.
No.
He's only a young eagle, so he's pretty angry. Just having a go at everything. He probably eats seal pups. He's a big boy.
We hope you enjoyed this week's video, and if you did, thanks for giving it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. If you haven't already, thanks also for subscribing. And until then, we'll see you next time.